Let's go ahead and jump in. Game number 1, Lucas and OP Sam. And Sam opening up with Royal Ghost, both directions here. These two did face off in 2 duels this year, splitting it 50-50. Sam taking one, Lucas taking the other.
E-Spirit able to allow the Ghost to wake up. Ghost takes out the other Ghost from Lucas's side. So a strong start. Both players pretty much playing the exact same card so far.
Yeah, looks like it might be a full mirror match. We'll see if Lucas is also going the log variant or if he's going with the bar barrel. Getting aggressive early is Lucas.
Hunter plus Fisherman plus Skellies, all 8 elixir, going to be able to clean it up. Only 1 shot from the RG on Lucas's end.
Let's see how cheaply Lucas can handle both the Hunter and the Fisherman here. And so far, pretty inexpensive. And he eats 1 shot from that Hunter on the left-hand side, lead ever so slightly to the OG.
And right there, Prelog trying to catch something, and that's going to be an Evo Ghost, allowing the Ghost to get to the tower, and he's going to try and set up with an RG push, RG in front of the Evo Ghost, and this is a lock coming down the lane.
Fish go boom on the side of Lucas, and old school combination, here we go.
I mean, that was perfection from Lucas. He's able to bring the RG in. Hunter stays alive, takes out the RG, and now Sam is going to have to defend again. And that's going to be a little bit of damage. I mean, this is close. Both players are building completely different pushes, and yet it's still as close as it is.
And the Evo Ghost causing problems on both sides of the board, Josh.
Yeah, it's so tough to stop. It's such a good card right here, going in all in with the Bridge RG, Evo RG as well. Fisherman going to yank it inside, and he doesn't have enough for the Hunter. Instead, going to elect to just defend with the Fisherman plus log. RG only gets 2 shots.
And Lucas playing that Fisherman, knowing he wanted to get enough DPS to let the Evo RG knock the Fish Boy off a little bit. And that has worked out for him. 1307 the mark on Sam's top left-hand tower, about a 700 and change lead right now for the Brazilian.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. Both of these players have not used their spells. Usually we expect to see the fireballs get cycled. Even the lightning is getting cycled because of the Hunter and the Fisherman together. Instead, both players not doing that whatsoever.
And this could turn into a lot the opposite direction. Here we go. Evo Ghost has spawned.
We've been waiting for that the entire time. Hunter does not get the shot off, so a really solid defense, and that's going to go invisible again. No, beautiful E-Spirit by Sam. That should have gone invisible. Instead, perfect timing, allowing the Ghost to start its swing. It stays alive, and I mean, as good as that was, Lucas still up quite a bit.
And nobody here able to really shut down these RG shots. They keep on chipping away, and as long as this goes this direction, Lucas is in a great spot.
Can he protect it? E-Spirit is going to be able to stop the Skellies, the Fisherman against Fisherman. RG should get only 1 shot, I believe, and that's exactly what's going to happen. This might be game if he isn't able to defend properly.
And 1 shot from the Evo RG. Does it get a second? Oh. And it does get a second!
It's just going to be a fireball log away. Gets the tower down to 15 HP. Sam is going to try something, anything. I don't think it's going to matter. Lucas already stepping away from the screen.
And there you have it. Lucas takes game number 1. Let's get into game number 2. And you also see, you don't forget this, I think Sam is like 6'7". He and Morton are both 2 towers. And I remember Sam complaining about having to crouch down on the towers back in the CRL teams era. And you see that big man get down low here. Is that affecting his gameplay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to assume it is. It can get kind of uncomfortable, but you know, that's the price of fashion sometimes. You got to look good. It doesn't matter.
And here we go, 4 bait cards in a row for Sam. Lucas with NATO and Bar Barrel.
Plus the Knight as well. We sometimes see Graveyard. We sometimes see a little bit else. I honestly do not like Graveyard in this meta right now, but I guess if there's one player that's going to still always do well again, it's Sam, but you know, the first 5 cards are all bait. Okay, he is just going to go with E-Giant. It is just the normal variation, not the Valk, going to be running the Knight instead.
Look at all the bait on the board here. Now you have the Rascal Girls, so many targets, and of course they'll all charge up that Skeleton King. And solid DPS, able to take down the Electro Giant.
Dark Goblin. Dark Goblin putting in a ton of work. Skeleton King, you could activate the ability, but it does feel like an overspend, and so he's going to just take a break, relax, try and get into double elixir, try and get that, probably try and get a surround on top of the bowler, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Skarmy surrounding the bowler, and still a little bit of a counter push, so like how he's approaching this.
And NATO pulls just to reset. Vines put the dragon on the board. First 2 minutes away. So far, pretty even, slight lead for Lucas, crosswise, top left, down to your bottom right.
Yeah, there's two reasons why that Vines was amazing. You force out the Knight because you're just trying to make Lucas have to overspend as much as possible. But the other reason is you're going into double elixir. You get to spend more because you're going to make more. So I like the awareness of recognizing what time it was and that he was going to be able to do it. Beautiful Evo Skarmy cleans up the E-Giant easily.
And puts that pressure on the left-hand lane as well.
Yeah, really expected the Dark Goblin to be able to snipe the Baby Dragon. Instead, the Knight gets played down just in time. Mother Witch puts in a lot of work against the Evo Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon not going to have any sort of counter push whatsoever.
Keep in mind, everybody, as you're watching at home, Sam does not have any way to get direct tower damage. No spells except for the Vines, which is a minor amount of damage onto that tower. So you might see him get some chip, but if he gets down, he's going to have to get on tower.
Ooh, and doesn't get the right timing. The Skarmy is before the NATO. We see Lucas shake his head. It looks like he thinks he has this confirmed.
E-Giant going to work on that right-hand tower. Now Lucas starting to pour it on. Two bowlers and a Baby Dragon.
Beautiful bowler right there. It's able to get on top of that. I don't even remember what the first card was, but it's able to take out the second. I mean, just beautiful positioning. Gets the tower down to 1270. A huge lead for Lucas, and he looks so confident right now.
And this is where Sam gets into a lot of trouble. He has to get on tower, and as we get deeper and deeper, and that elixir flows more and more, let's see. Will those activate? Nope. Good touch here for the E-Giant.
Yeah, he just has no answer. He has no building. I mean, it really comes down to that one massive mistake. The Skarmy is played too early. The Vines are too late. But this is also just a brutal matchup in general. And right there, you know, with everything not going his way, good job with the wall breakers. It's able to connect with both of them because of the placement.
Lucas opting to eat those two final minute triple elixir. And as I was saying before that last push, this is where Lucas can put on whatever he wants. He can slow down if he needs to, just one more lightning away. And this is where Sam gets into a lot of trouble, where he has to break through, has to get on tower. So you see the full send, the full sellout here. Evo Baby Dragon slowing everything down. Wall breakers trying to get through. Skarmy trying to do it, cannot get it done. No lightning block, and Lucas will take it in two.
Beautiful job from Lucas. I mean, no mistakes whatsoever. You know, usually we can point out a mistake or two by both players. Right there, it was just perfection. Here we go. Game number one underway.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I'm so glad to see it. I was expecting Pedro to potentially go either RG game one or minor game one. Instead, he goes Hog, a little bit different. Lucas playing Royal Giant again here. I think he's running back the exact same deck from before. I think he was looking for potentially a mirror matchup one more time.
Yeah, definitely could see that. Lucas, I mean, it's clear that RG is his bread and butter, and, you know, he talked about it in his post-game interview. I've played the mirror matchup 1,000 times, and if you played the mirror, you've played against this deck. You've played against Hog. You played against all these, and right here, I mean, the question is, does he feel comfortable? We'll have to see as this game goes on.
And we're going to see this a lot. The Hunter behind the Hog. Hog gets a couple big shots, plus the Firecracker splash. Big opening here for Pedro.
Yeah, Lucas has to be upset beyond belief. I have no idea. I think the Hunter forgot how to shoot or didn't shoot or something went wrong, and the Hunter put in absolutely zero work.
First minute away, massive lead for Pedro, 1804 on that right-hand tower. Just a tiny bit of chip for him on his side, and Lucas sets up his Royal Giant. Now, Josh, talk to me about this dichotomy here where, you know, one of Lucas's best ways to deal with that Hog Rider, obviously going to be that Fisherman, but he also has to contend with the Mighty Miner working on that Royal Giant. Yes, he has the Electro Spirit here. How's he going to be able to do double duty here?
Yeah, it just gets interesting. You're trying to wait for double elixir, trying to get the multiple RGs. It just gets super awkward for both of these players because, yes, you can defend with any 2 troops. You can defend with the Hunter plus the E-Spirit, get 0 damage. But at the same time, if you place the Firecracker behind him, right here, Pedro,
wow,
too late with the cannon. The RG is going to lock on. This is just difficult for both players. That's why this matchup gets so interesting.
And just more than happy to go ahead and take that fireball onto the Firecracker, get the Evo off the board. And after 2 minutes, we're pretty much all square.
Yeah, all of a sudden, this is, I mean, this is a game. And here we go, Hunter plus Log going to be able to clean that up. And he does protect the Hunter from allowing the Firecracker to splash, gets the E-Spirit off. Beautiful job from Lucas, incredible micro.
And slowing down a bit now is Pedro. He does have a slight elixir lead when you don't count the troop on the board and able to cover. Does not get a shot. King Tower activation playing a critical role there.
Wow, and Hunter learned how to prioritize. His Hunters have been absolutely perfect as this game has gone along. After the first one, it's just been gorgeous work from Lucas.
Here we go. Sudden death overtime on its way. Pedro ahead by 3 and change.
And right there, Cannon going to be able to defend the first RG, but you know there's a second one coming along soon, and there it is at the bridge. Evo Ghost on the right side, going to clean everything up and take it out while protected. And this second RG should be able to get a shot. It does not, so perfect defense from Pedro. And now 120-ish HP separating the 2 players.
But you think about the quality of that defense, Josh, and you're still giving up a couple hundred damage. This time, Fishboy should be more than capable. And with the stun, still gives up a hog shot. And you see Lucas very unhappy with that.
Yeah, very frustrated. The Ghost doesn't get down in time. Yeah, just doesn't get down in time, really. And right there, the Hawk does get 1 shot. Fisherman cannot get the pull. Beautiful. You know, we talk about the micro of Lucas. That micro right there from Pedro was amazing.
Firecracker goes back behind.
Oh.
Hog should still get 1, and it does.
The Evo RG placed into the Mighty Miner, a huge mistake, and Pedro just licking his lips. That was way too easy. That should never be happening on the World Final stage.
High Hunter plus E-Spirit. Tries to pull the Mighty Miner over. Hog is running, E-Spirit stunning. Able to stop it this time is Lucas, but time ticking away, only 45 to get that damage back.
The Evo Firecracker not going to be able to lock on right there. That Fisherman, a beautiful E8. Can it get another one in time? It doesn't. Hog gets a shot on top of the tower.
It was the E-Spirit just completely shutting that whole thing down, and now it's last gasp for Lucas.
Yeah, and right there, 2 Mighty Miners on the board. This is one of those matchups where you don't need the 3-card cycle. You love all the Mighty Miners as if you can. Pedro, what does he have for this?
Evo RG on tower. Cannon comes down to hold. RG in one more time. Lucas has to get so much done. Fishboy trying to pull. He needs to get 1 shot. Can't get it done. Fireball in. Won't be enough. Game number 1 for Pedro.
Well played coming out from Lucas, the emote, the hog emote, and the Barbarian Flex coming from Pedro. And look, this is one of the few matchups that we can look at and say, who played better? Who made less mistakes? It felt like both of these players might have been nervous. It felt like, something was kind of off, but Pedro able to do just enough and walk away with a win.
So here we go, Miner from Pedro in game number 2, going to Comfort after getting the win outside of his normal set. And Electro Giant for Lucas.
Good placement on the E-Giant. Not going to allow a ghost shot. And then Pedro, is this Mortar? No, gonna be the Goblin Hunt plus the minions. We're probably looking at Minor Poison.
Ice Wiz plus minions. Pulls it all to the middle with a NATO to get them off the board, but not gonna get much more than that is Lucas.
Yeah, really do not like that NATO from Lucas. I think it's a pretty massive overextension right there. Forces out the barbell as well. And Pedro up 2.5 elixir. And just, he cycled his Evos. The Ice Spirit easy to cycle, Ghost easy to cycle. So just a really great start for Pedro.
Lucas did play Electro Giant in an in-game duel, not an out-of-game duel, so preset decks got the win over Pedro. Slightly different variation, didn't play the Golden Knight.
and I was just waiting. I'm telling you, the worst interaction in the world, the one that makes me throw away the game, I'm not playing this for one more second, is missing a miner when you have Skarmy. That is the worst interaction in the world. But he got it. He got it.
He got it, yes. Bar Barrel takes a swing, and the Evo Ice Spirit forces out 4 elixir from Lucas. You don't want to take those little extra tips.
Yeah, Lucas kind of okay with cycling the Baby Dragon, trying to get to the double elixir, triple elixir. And then Pedro, this is what happens. We see Miner Poison, and he's going to start to get really aggressive. These Miner placements are so interesting to look at from Pedro.
Yeah, in that anti-NATO spot to the outside. Lots of damage here. Minions able to really put some work on that right-hand tower. And once again, Pedro opening up the lead early.
Yeah, right here, the E-Giant just not putting in the work that needs to be done. The Ice Wizard spread out to the side, plus the Goblin Hut. It's just too easy for him to defend every single time. Never giving an opportunity for his opponent to NATO it to the King Tower. I mean, this is just picture-perfect play from Pedro.
That was a lot altogether.
Yeah, I cannot believe I got it done correctly.
E-Giant set up. We are deep into double. What do you think of the chances here of Lucas actually breaking through against, we have the Hut, we have the Ice Wiz, the ability to shut things down with the Ice Spirit as well?
I mean, I don't believe in 0% chance, but I do believe in 0.1, and that's what it's really looking like.
And this is what we were talking about, right? The deck progression stuff where you go, hey, here what we think we need to cover after game number 1. And so far, Pedro and Jose looking like they have got Lucas's number.
Yeah, right here, a minute 40 seconds left. We're seeing him poison nothing, so you have to be a little bit worried about the big push coming in from Lucas. If Lucas doesn't get it here, it's over. He needs to get it here, in my opinion.
90 seconds left. Baby Dragon puts a little bit onto the Ice Wiz.
Beautiful.
Lightning clears.
Yeah, beautiful timing right there with the Ice Spirit, trying to keep the Ghost alive. Minions trying to stay out of range, forces out the NATO from Lucas.
And Lucas just can't get that much out of the NATO, right? He's not using it to be able to get a big Golden Knight combination. He's not getting the breakthrough on the E-Giant. This time it picks up the Miner, having to mitigate some of that problem. And at this point, Lucas opting to go into the weak side.
Yeah, and I almost want to point out the first mistake I've seen from Pedro. I would like to see him switch up the Miner placement. NATO out of cycle. You've been playing it there every single time. But yeah, both of his towers are basically at 3K. You know, I don't want to get too nitpicky, I guess.
And these minions have just been absolutely shredding these Electro Giants. You know, and we talked about it earlier, the extended range now making it so that they can do a whole lot of work. And Lucas has been trying to find a way to break through with the NATO. Hasn't done it yet. 30 seconds left. You talked about do or die, Josh. This is the one.
Yeah, E-Giant on the left, E-Giant on the right. Baby Dragon just dead. It's gone. It's finished. That is massive for Pedro's defense. This shouldn't even be a struggle. The Ice was going to go to both lanes, and there we go. We finally do see a push.
Golden Knight in. Miner able to hold here, and that's not going to be enough. Golden Knight dashes. Electro Giant will not be quick enough. And Pedro comes out and does it the easy way. 2 games up, 2 games down.
Yeah, brilliant job from Pedro. I mean, the entire match, he just dominated the minions. Look, you talked about it a little bit. The minions were beautiful. You shouldn't be able to stop an E-Giant with minions. It shouldn't work. That doesn't make sense. My brain doesn't allow it, but we just saw it right there. The minions putting in work every single time. Ice Wiz off to the side. Goblin Hut perfection. I mean, just a beautiful set from Pedro.
Game number 1, Lucas and Igor. And there's maybe a hint of a smile,
That's
or was
right,
that
yeah.
chewing from Igor? I wasn't quite sure which.
Yeah, it must have been accidental. It must have been a chew.
So no shockers here. Miner from Igor to open things up. Lucas went to the front, going to go ahead and get the pickup, but take a little bit of chip damage on the left-hand side as the Berserker finishes off the helmeted one.
Yeah, and Igor's going to do the same thing that Pedro was doing with these off-center. You know, usually you go right on top of the tower, going just an extra tile off to try and get some of those troops to walk away.
And Miner right to the Dark Goblin. And this is, you know, this is big. We're starting to see Igor maybe make some more of his style of plays. We've already seen today one player get over the nerves and make a big comeback and a big stand on stage with Ian.
Yeah,
oh boy.
Yeah, and right there, both of the wall breakers are going to connect. The bar barrel doesn't do enough damage. It's just one of those weird interactions. There's so many small interactions with with the wall breakers where you're like, of course this is going to take it out. There's no way, and then they just still get to tower.
Igor's sitting on his elixir a little bit, waiting for his opponent to make the move.
And then Lucas choosing to run, you know, that 1.9 elixir bait deck, I don't think that should be legal in my opinion, so I'm glad to see that he's going to be using a more standard variation. Evo Skellies plus Mighty Miner going to be able to lock in and take that out. Ice Spirit on the left side, and these Evo Wall Breakers plus Evo Skellies, there's a little bit of a push, but Lucas is going to defend this beautifully.
It does force out a response for the Mighty Miner. Igor switches the side. He's going to get on tower here potentially. Ice Spirit slows things down. Might get a little bit of turn of the drill, but not much damage. Double elixir on its way in a moment. Right now, it's pretty even in both lanes.
Yeah, and we see Igor shake his head. I would have liked to see that up and hut just one tile lower. It would have allowed the Dark Goblin to be able to walk in, have the Crown Tower take it out. Instead, Dark Goblin gets 4 or 5 shots, and now Lucas takes the lead all the way back.
Igor a little heavier in this deck, getting the Mighty Miner up front. Goblin Hut now placed in that low position.
And that's going to be perfect right there. Mighty Miner to try and finish off the Dark Goblin. 1886, lowest tower for Lucas. 1593, lowest tower for Igor. And really, you know, the game is close, but so far Lucas has played a much cleaner game.
Split on the Evo barrel. Let's see how Igor handles it. Takes a ton of damage on the left-hand side. Oh my word.
Yeah, and I think that might have been Evo Skellies or something taken out right there. 9 seconds, almost to OT, and Lucas is just dominating. He's just playing this so much better than Igor is so far.
Miner working for Igor. One wall breaker trying to make it, does connect. Bar barrel down. And the hut drop behind. Had to be a misclick. That's it. Lucas takes game number 1.
Yeah, Lucas dominated the entire time. He was so clever.
Number 2, here we go. Not sure who Igor is talking to, but you see a few words there. And both players really slow. No one making the first move.
Yeah, not sure if the production team is the best coach, but...
Guard cycle. Lucas shows the Baby Dragon.
Seeing Baby Dragon, you kind of automatically assume that it's going to be E-Giant. Igor on the other side. Oh, and he's going to be running P.E.K.K.A. Feels like it's one of the first P.E.K.K.As that we've seen in this tournament.
And Graveyard for Igor here. E-Spirit to cover.
Yeah,
and Valk not in range.
Beautiful timing with the E-Spirit. E-Wiz coming as well for Lucas. Takes about 600 damage. And Igor just going to set up the defense with a Goblin Cage.
And that's a big Inferno Dragon, especially with the Electro Wiz covered. Gonna burn that all the way down, I believe. Ooh. And there you go.
Yeah.
Big defense for Igor.
Gorgeous Ice Spirit right there. I was so worried that it was going to get out of the range of the Inferno Dragon. Instead, just inside, Inferno Dragon cleans up everything. Yeah, and he's taking no damage. That was a perfect start to the game for Igor.
First 90 seconds away. So far, so good for the former Team Liquid hero. Wasn't able to play for that squad for the entire year. Couldn't get his way over to the States. I think he might have still been underage to play in the league, but at the time, Liquid coach Eric Benamou signed him anyway, with the plan being we'll need him at Worlds. Ran a 3-man squad, right? With just Canario, Surgical Goblin, and Diego B. And they made it all the way, and then Igor showed up as a rookie and got it done.
And right here, Inferno Dragon on top of the P.E.K.K.A. again. Lucas trying to save up the Lightning and not going to. That's just going to be a really easy defense for Igor. See if he wants to defend this Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon does get the splash, so a little bit of a miss time right there. And that's going to get the left tower down to 2569. Full reset for Igor, setting up with the Goblin Cage.
Guards, yeah, pressure on the left-hand side here. Force out the Ghost early.
Yeah, I really like what Lucas is doing. He's allowing Igor to he's just forcing Igor to cycle. He had to go guards at the bridge. You obviously want those guards for those P.E.K.K.A.s.
And this is a big lightning. Trying to get the Ram Rider breakthrough, but an absolute traffic jam at the bridge. And the snowball unnecessary. Some wasted elixir on Igor's part. This is going to give a big advantage to Lucas as we move into the sudden death period.
Yeah, those are just some of those small mistakes that we've seen. Inferno Dragon up high. E was in cycle, so going to be able to defend that very easily. Igor just looks like he was trying to cycle. It wasn't anything too cute. And right here, let's see if the Evil Valk can go to work.
Pulling everything together. Ewis gets a couple of big hits on the right-hand side. 90 seconds left, and still we are razor thin.
Yeah, at this point, it's just so difficult for Igor to set up an offensive attack. It just feels like it's defense, defense, defense ever since that opening push.
But here we go. Maybe going to go on the right-hand side. Valk pressuring. No, goes Graveyard left-hand lane. And this is where you can start getting dangerous, right? Triple elixir. You can put some Graveyards out, take some risks.
Yeah, I'd like to see some sort of push build. I'm not exactly sure why he went on the right side and then went with the Graveyard in the left. Inferno Dragon plus the Valk plus the Snowball should be able to defend that pretty nicely, but does need to go with guards, and he will. The right tower now lowered down to 1706.
Igor can switch lanes here, but Lucas in a good spot. Not a big lead though, 1706 to 1815, 40 seconds left.
And it's interesting to see how all these P.E.K.K.A. decks, it's no longer the Evo P.E.K.K.A. You're trying to get those support troops to be your Evos. 1815, 1706, 30 seconds left to determine if this is going to a game 3.
Ram Rider playing defense against the Graveyard. Not a lot getting through here. Ram Rider trying to make it. The Evo Valk goes down, Cage into hold. Snowball trying to stop the Ram Rider. Ram Rider will connect, and now another one on the right-hand side. That's an absolutely huge push. 10 seconds left. That Ram Rider should connect here. Cage to stop. Igor needs to get on tower. Lightning puts the damage in. That's gonna be it! Lucas gets it done in 2!
Find the motivation and discipline within yourself instead.
Well, let's see if Lucas can do that, knowing that this is a home crowd for Ian. Here we go, elimination match between Ian and Lucas. Who's gonna take it? Game number 1.
Log from Ian in an E-Spirit, maybe Hog Rider. Looking like he's going back to his bread and butter.
Like it, love to see it. Both these guys, we're gonna see Lucas playing Miner, Ian playing Hog. This is the type of matchup you wanna see, and Ian already with the emotes, but as you guys said before, those emotes don't really mean anything other than Ian's just doing what he does.
Right. Ice Spirit here will stop the Hog Rider. Will the Firecracker? No, it doesn't.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wow. The Hog just gets a connection, but the Firecracker does activate King. So Lucas is in a decent position going forward from here.
Perfect time to E-Spirit there to clean up the Royal Ghost, make sure it doesn't go invisible once again, but it is Lucas with the... Oh, excuse me, looks like these graphics are a bit swapped. Ian's on the bottom of the screen, Lucas at the top.
Hog inbound. Mine are doing a great job of defending.
And Hog trying to go on through, stopped by the cannon. Lucas taking pause here. You imagine they've played this matchup against each other numerous times, maybe on ladder over the years, different versions of Miner Control. Oof. And bomb does not go off in time. You see Ian with a little bit of a smile there, wishing he could have got that damage.
Second Ghost of the game. Evo Ghost will be in cycle soon. A very common idea is to use that Evo Ghost on defense from the Hog to prevent Earthquake value and to get a counter push. We'll see if Lucas is going to be able to make that happen.
Sneaks the Hog right in front, pre-Earthquake for the cannon. Hog Rider going to go through and get another shot in. So much spent. Bar Barrel, cannon, minions, doesn't matter. Ian breaks through once again.
I've played against Ian on ladder quite a few times, and this is always what it feels like. It seems like for some reason, his Hog Rider always just gets that final hit in.
It's the perfect timing, the early pre-Earthquake, knowing exactly how your opponent's going to respond, how much damage the units do, or the units that are in his hand, watching the cycle. And there we go. This is what you were talking about before, Juicy. The anti-Earthquake placement pushes it over with the Skellies. Firecracker not getting on top of tower there. 1941, Royal Ghost comes in, and Firecracker almost gets it a shot off.
Okay, here we go. This is Lucas's chance to really strike back. Evo goes, baiting out a lot of elixir on the left side. Miner trying to get some chip. And this is a really solid comeback from Lucas. It's just very even all of a sudden. Even Lucas taking lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ian's recognizing that Lucas is going to be able to defend as more elixir gets at his disposal. It's going to be so difficult to catch those miners over and over again, especially with that mighty miner. Sometimes you want to use it to protect the hogs. Sometimes you need it defensively, as you can see right here, using it to protect that firecracker.
Yep.
So now the miner going to be just a little bit harder to pick up.
And another firecracker on the board, followed by another hog. The firecracker does not get hit by the Evo cannon, but the hog raider push is successful in preventing too much damage.
And there you go, miner poison right off the gate. Doesn't have the ability to drop skellies. Is Ian here? Lucas is taking the damage lead a little bit farther, and Ian knows this is a tough spot to be in. Lucas getting a great deck pick here. Again, coachless.
Firecracker trying to get on tower. I think no, it doesn't. It doesn't get a single amount of chip. It does a little bit now, though. Ian's trying to make something happen despite Lucas's very solid hog defenses.
And these minions are great because that mighty miner, you want to use the ability to take him off the board, but now instead not going to be a good tank at the bridge here. Although Hog getting a little bit of protection from the mighty, Cannon going to clean things up, and now Lucas going right back on offense. Miner, Ice Spirit, Royal Ghost, minions.
Slight misstep on the Evo cannon, forcing the firecracker to come out for the minions. The poison does go down in case of skeletons, but Ian saves all of his elixir to try to make one final push here in triple time.
Yeah, Ian has to have a miracle happen here. Royal Ghost out on top of the cannon, minions, everything. And overspend doesn't matter when you have the lead, plus Miner, Poison, Juicy. Is there any way to turn this around other than a miracle or a misplay?
I think that it's possible. He needs to keep up the pressure, and he needs to have very cheap, effective defenses versus these Miner.
991, 883, Miner goes in, Firecracker to catch the minions at the bridge. Mighty Miner at the bridge on the opposite side, most likely going to put a hog behind. There it is, early Earthquake, Cannon out of range. Great placement there from Lucas. Ian back in the lead, though.
Yeah, Ian back in the lead, continue to apply the pressure. Now a pre-poison plus Miner coming in hot. And Ian knows he can't defend. He decides to attack instead.
Hog does get pulled. Minions are there.
Oh my gosh.
Hog almost gets a hit.
Oh my gosh, it's so close. Another hog inbound.
Need a way to stop this hog. You need a way. There's the cannon.
The Evo cannon stalls enough. One more Miner inbound and the poison is enough. LucasXGamer takes game number 1.
And what a beautiful showing there.
Okay, Ian just going straight for the aggression. I like that. And we talked about yesterday, Goblin Hut, not really what you want to see defense-wise.
Yeah, not my favorite thing to run into a Goblin Hut, or I mean have a Goblin Hut for that. Mortar going to clean it up pretty cleanly there. Going to get some Goblins out to protect that Mortar. And now a Mortar shot is locked on the tower for at least a couple shots. AQ has to come down.
Okay, one shot is through though. And the Boss Bandit, will the ability, okay, the ability does get down from the Queen at time, but this Boss Bandit is still very healthy.
This looks, it has pieces of the deck that we saw Mo run yesterday with Skeleton Barrel. We saw the Overwhelm that he put on against Sandbox. That was the game where Mo took 0 damage at all. The only person to do it at all yesterday, which was absolutely incredible. Lucas here. What are we seeing here at the bottom of the screen, Juice? What do you think?
I got you. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the drill. A lot of the time with Evo Snowball, you will see drill as the main win condition. Matchup-wise, I actually kind of like it for Lucas.
Yeah.
You know, if Lucas can get his cycle correct, have the Queen for the mortars, and as well as use the Valkyrie efficiently on defense, he has a really good shot. But Ian is trying to basically abuse the fact that his starting hand was bad and continue to apply pressure while his cycle's messed up.
Yeah, and this is the deck that we saw Mo run yesterday. I had a little bit of fun with it, of course, being a new mortar deck I haven't seen out in the world yet. The synergy between the Boss Bandit and the Skeleton Barrel is really interesting. We're going to see it right here. You usually want the barrel in front of the tank unit, but instead you can go Boss Bandit up front. You can use the ability, get the Skeleton Barrel in. Wow. And Boss Bandit goes a little too far back. High Berserker there. Nice play by Lucas.
Wow. Okay, the Fire Spirit is going to tank. Evo Valkyrie, wow. Oh my gosh, I keep saying wow, but this is just, this is so amazing. But really nice from Lucas to kind of delay on that Valkyrie to try to get more value out of it, and Ian kind of playing into his hand with that gang.
And we finally see the first little lick of damage come through against this deck. As we said, Mo took 0 yesterday, and now Ian just takes a little bit from that Evo Valkyrie.
And Evo Snowball is in cycle, so we are going to see that front drill placement. But Ian is on top of it. He waits, plays the Barbarrel instead, and prevents the Evo Snowball from getting any value.
I mean, Juice, that's a situation where you just got to hover, right? I mean, I know you want to predict, but then if you predict with the Evo Snowball, that's worse than having to use it on defense.
Evo Skeleton Barrel in cycle. Boss Bandit almost connects. Will Lucas have enough elixir?
And Boss Bandit dashes.
Wow!
With the Skellies. Boss Bandit in the bridge.
Lucas is low in elixir. He gets the Valkyrie down barely in time to stay in this match. But wow, insane pressure from Ian continuing to push the advantage.
The Boss Bandit is such an elixir leech when you talk about having to play against it, Juicy. If you don't defend it perfectly, you must get it down to stop that dash. And Lucas hasn't been able to get back on offense in about a minute. And now the mortar locks again.
The mortar is connecting, and the Boss Bandit is protecting. It's dashing every which way, and the mortar continues to send volleys at this tower. Boss Bandit connects.
We're getting our first game 3 of the day. Excellent play. And one will move on.
Ice Spirit the bridge from Ian. He has not been waiting for his opponent in any of these games. Immediate Hog, immediate Mortar, immediate Ice Spirit the bridge. He wants to get in the gameplay. He wants to start figuring out what his opponent's using so he can begin to outplay.
Guards plus Ice Whiz. Could mean Mortar.
Yeah. Guards, Ice Whiz, E-Spirit. Mortar's an option. With the E-Spirit, it can't be Graveyard.
I was just going to say, with the E-Spirit coming out.
Interesting. Yeah, roll a Giant then.
And Royal Giant going up against Control. We saw a similar situation. Look at Ian looking out at the crowd, talking to the crowd, literally in the middle of the match, talking to the crowd. This was a similar matchup to what we saw yesterday when we saw, it was the end of the day. I think it was
Monk
Sam.
RG versus
It was
Tesla.
Sam.
I think it was Sandbox, yeah. And the question is, does Lucas have the lightning? I think the lightning is definitely what you want in this sort of matchup so you can help break through those Teslas. And the fireball is just really not going to do the job.
So Ian going complete control here. Lucas going back to relative comfort, being one of the better RG players out there in the world. We'll see if he can figure out the equation to break through. Yesterday, Sam could not figure it out. Sandy played perfect D.
Delivery dropping down. Evo Ice Spirit just freezes everything. And that's why we saw Ian drop the Ice Spirit the bridge first play. Getting that Evo Ice Spirit cycle to time it perfectly for when the RG Evo will be there. He's able to really control the defense.
You don't know what to play, cycle your cheapest Evo. I learned that from watching Juicy J.
Shout out to Andrew, dude. Always making me smile on stage. In an E-Spirit here, going to continue to apply pressure. And I guess the biggest thing to I really think about here is if I'm Lucas, if I'm the RG player, how am I going to break through? We really saw, Sandbox really lock it down in yesterday's game, and I think Lucas knows best. RG the back.
I was just going to say, I think what you got to try to do is start getting those double RGs out. Ian's going to take that rocket damage, no problem here in single. 25-78, lowest tower on the board. Lucas getting a little bit more in with that Monk Reflection, bringing that tower down to 27-41, and a miner goes to the back.
Monk gonna drop. He wants to prevent any more rockets on tower, using that ability to his advantage. RG does get one hit from Lucas, starting to even up this match.
And a high Tesla here to maybe help support the Monk. And one of the things about losing that 3-card cycle is these RG decks, it's so much harder to get 2 RGs out on the board. And Evo RG coming in. Ian spending everything he can, but that RG does retarget.
Wow. Oh, wait, the Monk is being paid for. The Monk gets the power on tower. That is game-changing damage. Even with the fireball to prevent breakthrough, he needed that to happen.
And a huge slap, I guess, from the Monk. A chop. 2065, 2186. Ice was the
does
catch.
pick up the miner. Insane. Snowball's going to try to push everything away, and the miner does start to connect.
2034, 1985 to 2065, neck and neck. Lucas cycles his non-Evo RG to the left-hand side as another miner comes in. Guards close enough to turn around.
2 monks on the board now, trying to break through. Ice Whiz plus Log trying to get rid of the guards as well. This Evo Tesla continues to be a defensive menace.
And that delivery, I believe, hits the Ice Whiz and the RG. RG on the left gets a shot. Now RG on the right coming in. Evo RG, Tesla comes in just in time.
My goodness, we are heading into triple extra overtime in 5.
The guards! Oh!
Knight barely gets down for the guards. 3 knights on the board for a split second. The Knight gets a little bit of chip here, and Lucas starting a Monk in the back, once again trying to prevent rocket value.
1784, 2065. Lucas needs to make something happen in the next 50 seconds, but having a tough time doing it. Ian doesn't even need a rocket cycle.
Guard's a little bit late. That could be game-changing damage with the miner connecting. Lucas needs the double RG to break through.
And
wow, and he tries to predict the Monk with the rocket, but he doesn't get it.
I don't know.
This is Lucas's time.
yeah, maybe going for a little bit too much, but probably recognizing he can get back to that second Tesla, no problem. There it is. Now we need another RG, but Lucas can't find a way to break through.
Wow, another Monk at the bridge. 20 seconds on the clock. We'll see another RG soon.
He's got to play defense on the left, Juicy. He can't just let it go. E-Spirit has to come down and the guards. He can't support the RG.
The rocket does too much damage, and there it goes.